So first and foremost, I want to welcome everybody to new graduate student orientation. My name is Dr. Denver Fowler. I serve as the Associate Dean for Graduate and Undergraduate Studies here at CSUB, and I also direct the Graduate Student Center, which we'll talk a little bit about later. But before we get into the presentation, I do want to say thank you for choosing us. I know you have options as it applies to your graduate education, and we are extremely happy that you chose CSUB. And again, thank you for that. And we hope that you'll find you made the right choice. We are 20 plus graduate programs, 19 plus credential programs, 6 plus professional certificates, 3 plus academic certificates, over 2,000 graduate students, and over 12,000 graduate alum. Again, my name is Denver Fowler. I made my introduction. I also would like to invite Martha Manriquez just to say hello, if she could pop off mute. She's our coordinator for the Graduate Student Center. She can't talk, but she is waving. Okay. And we normally have, just so everyone knows, we normally have an ASI graduate director, which we will, that position is turning over. And so sometime early this fall, we'll name that individual. And we usually have 1 to 4 graduate student assistants. We have 1 right now. And we may have a graduate student leader. That also changes semester to semester and academic year to year. But those folks aren't here today because we're having turnover with those positions coming out of last academic year, but we will have those folks in place. We also have some graduate program directors that are joining us. And if you could just be sure to say hello and introduce yourself in the chat if you are here. Graduate students, please take a moment to introduce yourself. So if you could go into the chat and just put your name, what graduate program you're going to be starting, and what your why is. And for example, why are you in graduate school? Why did you choose our program? You know, what is your why? And we'll come back to what your why is a little bit later as something to lean on for motivation from time to time. So I want to congratulate all of you. You are joining an elite group. If we look at things by the numbers, only 13.1% of the US population hold a master's degree, professional degree, or doctoral degree. And for those of you that are starting our EDD program, less than 2% of the US population hold a doctoral degree. So you are an elite company just by starting your graduate degree. However, I do want to mention that there are national attrition rates with those statistics. And so 50% of all master students, 50 to 70% of all doctoral students, and those are national attrition rates. But I say that not to be negative, but to be positive. However, not you, okay? We are here to support you and ensure you make it to the finish line. You will find here at CSUB that we are student focused and we always do what's best for students. So I mentioned earlier that I'm the director of the Graduate Student Center, and I want to share exactly what that is and some of the resources and services we have to offer. So you are here now. We offer the new graduate student orientation. We do that fall and spring semesters. We hold professional development workshops. We hold events. We have an entire webpage dedicated to our events and workshops for this academic year. So you can go to that page. You can look at all of the different events and workshops we have, what modality they're in, where they're located on campus, things like that. We have the Graduate Student Lab and Lounge. So if you look over in the photos there, to the right, that's our Graduate Lounge, and we have poster printers in there for you to use for free. So if you're given a poster presentation, you don't have to pay. You know, it's pretty expensive to print a poster nowadays. And so you'll be able to do that for free. We have computers, printers in there, and it's also a quiet space for our graduate students to work. You know, we usually keep it pretty quiet in there. We also have the conference room. We have brand new technology in there. You see the big screen there. That's relatively new. I do want to share, though, as I wrap that up, very unfortunately, the Numenor building is currently closed for renovations. So as of right now, the Graduate Student Center is closed, but we hope to have that up sometime this fall and accessible again for all of you. We're also working on moving some of the things like the poster printers and things that we know a lot of our graduate students use to other locations on campus, just so you have access to that. We have the fellowships and the awards. So we have the Equity Fellowship up to 20 grand. The next application cycle for that will be in March. We have the Faculty Diversification Fellowship Program. Those applications will open up again in the spring. And again, this is all on our website. There's the Sally Casanova Scholars California Pre-Doctoral Program. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a later slide. And then the Chancellor's Doctoral Incentive Program, or what we call the CDIP. We also are here to answer policy and procedural questions as it applies to all things graduate school. We do a semester by semester publication of our graduate newsletter. You can see the most recent one on our website. We'll have one coming out this fall. And then you can also check out laptops. So if you need a nice laptop for your graduate program, you can check those out and use those throughout your program here at CSUB. We also have graduate student mentor opportunities, and that leads me into my next slide, but did I skip one? Maybe it's one further ahead. So we have the Runner Alumni Mentor Program, and essentially that pairs graduate students with CSUB alumni that professionals for an academic year of career preparation and coaching. So that's a great program. And as I mentioned, we also have the Sally Casanova Scholars Program. And that program is designed really just to increase diversity within the pool of university faculty in the CSU system. So things like travel funds, development funds, summer research opportunities allow students in this program to succeed in their doctoral program, regardless of their chosen field of study. Those applications will open up again in February. And then the CDIP program, it's a forgivable loan program, which aims to increase the number of promising doctoral students applying for future CSU instructional faculty positions. So again, helping get that pool of future professors in the CSU system. And there's many grants associated with that, travel funds to support collaborative teaching, research, and service. That application will open up again in February. And I don't have the newest awardees on there from this past academic year, but as you can see, we've had several students in the past, McKenna, Brandon, America, Kyle, Rudy, who have all been recipients of these fellowship programs and awards. Oh, okay. So we are known as the Division of Graduate Programs. Again, normally we're operating out of the Numenor building on campus. You can see our team from this past academic year. Again, there's a lot of changes with folks graduating. We're happy to see our student assistants graduate, but we have to fill those positions as quickly as possible. You can see there's our catch-all email, gsc@csub.edu, our phone number. And again, you'll have access to this presentation long after I present here today in the recording format, and we'll get the PowerPoint out to everybody that's here. But that's our GSC website, and you can also access the Graduate Division catalog, where all those policies and procedures I spoke of earlier can be found. We're also on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X as they now call it, LinkedIn, and Linktree. And so you can find all of those again on our website. They say we're all visual learners now, so I like to include this slide. Here's a visual of where Numenor building is located. So we're all the way out on the west side of campus. And if you see there's the baseball field. That's probably a good guidance for reference of where we're located. I like to always tell folks we're just past the water tower. So if you're familiar with the water tower on campus, we're out by that parking lot. And again, we're currently closed, but we're hoping to open up here sometime this fall. I want to take a moment and share the mission of the Division of Graduate Studies and our graduate programs. And Our mission here at CSUB is to prepare students with discipline-specific intellectual skills for employment or continuing education. So through our post-baccalaureate programs, the graduate division, and by the way, post-baccalaureate includes anything post-bachelor's all the way to doctoral programs on our campus. We provide all students numerous opportunities to achieve academic excellence, explore diverse ideas, develop a passion for higher learning, and engage with graduate faculty and the greater community. Our division goals is to provide a campus-wide leadership in graduate student affairs and academic policies, develop and sustain graduate culture with a sense of purpose, direction, and cohesiveness, ensure that all graduate programs are current and meet high quality standards and demonstrate student learning, and last but not least, build an inclusive community of scholars dedicated to the quest for new knowledge and higher learning, both within and outside the classroom. Again, who are we in a snapshot? And I shared these statistics earlier with the 20+ graduate programs, over 2,000 students, over 12,000 alums, and we have several credential, professional certificate, and academic certificates. Those are all of our master's programs. We do have 2 doctoral programs now. One is listed there, which is our Doctor of Education and Educational Leadership, with 2 focus areas, higher education leadership and pre-K through 12 leadership. But we also have a nurse practitioner doctoral degree that's relatively new to our portfolio. So as you can see, we offer a lot here at CSUB, and it really ends up leading to a diverse group of students. And I love doing these interdisciplinary events and workshops, much like this orientation, where we get to bring them all together and introduce them to each other and things like that. And again, we have all those events and workshops. We'll have a grad social. Those are always fun. It's very interdisciplinary. Anybody that's in graduate school is invited, and we all mingle and have drinks and food. And it's probably worth noting that our programs are award-winning, nationally recognized programs. So I don't even have the 2024 awards and recognition on this slide list, but this is everything for the past 3 years, from 2020 to 2023. And you can see, you know, one of the best graduate school programs, education master's program, MBA program, number 13 best bang for your buck, number 26 in top master's universities, and the list goes on, right? And so if you look, these are some of the top organizations, associations, and magazines that are ranking our programs, and I think it says a lot about what we've been doing at CSUB. And again, the list goes on. So here's 2014 to 2019, and I already know we've been recognized in 2024, and we'll add those to the slides for the spring orientation. All right, last but not least, I like to share a few tips for success, having been there myself as a new graduate student and later a doctoral student. And these are the 6 tips for success that I like to share with all of our new graduate students. So 1, carve out the time. I know you're busy. Many of you are adults, you're married, you have children, you have other obligations, significant others, spouses, whatever it may be. But when you join a program, I think for most students in graduate studies and doctoral studies, it's finding that time to carve out to study, write, and essentially do the work. I will share one of the events that we have ongoing through fall and spring semester is the writing hours. So if you struggle with this, come to campus. We have 4 hours, I believe, blocked out for you to sit down in a quiet space and do your research and write and things like that. And there will be other students in there as well. It's very interdisciplinary. So there'll be folks from all different programs. But whatever it is, carve out the time, okay? And then find your study area. I always like to share this story, but when I was in my doctoral program, you know, I used to make my wife, or I used to ask my wife to drop me off at a coffee shop because I knew if I didn't have a car, I was less likely to get up and leave. And I would have her drop me off at a coffee shop early Sunday morning after church. And I would always try to find a spot near the restroom, and I would just drink coffee and write. And that's how I got through my doctoral program. Because at the time, I was a practicing pre-K through 12 principal. I was adjuncting at 3 different universities, 1 in person, 1 hybrid, 1 online. And I was trying to get through my doctoral program, which I crosswalked with the superintendent license program. So it was a lot, okay? But by finding that study area that I liked. And I will say, I don't know what this says about me, but I had to go to different coffee shops or I'd get burned out. So, I say find your study area, whether it be the CSUB library, GSC, the Graduate Student Center Lounge when we reopen a coffee shop, or even maybe it's at home for you. But for me, I had to do different coffee shops and change up the scenery, and I like the noise. I know some folks don't. So whatever it is for you, find your study area. Be organized. I advise all of you to go get you a flash drive. They're so cheap now anyway. Go get you a flash drive and organize the folders per class you're taking. And then make sure you do it in a way that it's really easy for you it's accessible and readily available, and you know what you're looking for. So save your files in a way that it's the title of the assignment, underscore your last name and underscore the date, and keep them organized in your course folders. I can't say enough about that. And last but not least, back it up. I could share a really sad story, but I won't. Back all that up and make sure it's easily accessible. I will say you'll probably use some of that stuff. If you're doing your thesis or your dissertation, you'll come back and want to look at those things. Seek help. Utilize the resources from the GSC. There's a multitude of university resources that you're going to hear about today, but use them. We're always a little dumbfounded sometimes. I'll speak with a student and they'll tell me what resources they need or services they need. And I'm like, oh, remember orientation? We talked about that, and you can go right here and I'll walk them over. But sometimes we forget, right? We get into the program, you're 2 classes in, you're like, I didn't even know there was help for this on campus. So please reach out. We can point you in the right direction. Work-life balance. Just as much as you need to carve out that time, you need to make sure you maintain a healthy work-life balance. Take care of yourself. I don't know what that is for you. Some of you, it's working out. Some of you, it's taking naps. Whatever it may be, you need to take care of yourself. I promise that if it was easy to get your master's degree and doctoral degree, we wouldn't see that less than 2% of the US population has a doctoral degree and less than 13% have a master's degree. It's not easy, but you got to take care of yourself or you're going to get burned out and you're not going to do well in the program and you're not going to get to the finish line, okay? And then last but not least, remember your why. I asked all of you to put your why in the chat. So those days that things get hard and you're like, why am I doing this? I can't do this. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know how I'm going to juggle this with kids, work, whatever it may be, my spouse. Remember your why and keep it somewhere near your computer. I can tell you for me, it was my daughter, Haley, my oldest. And so when I was having those moments where I'm like, man, I can't do this, I would just look and remember, okay, that's why I got to do this. So for all of you, whatever it may be, have it near your computer and take a look at your why every once in a while, just to remind you why you're in the program. That's it for me. Again, I want to welcome all of you. Thank you for choosing us. And I will share, we have a great lineup here today, sharing all of these wonderful resources for all of you. And first up, we have Aaron and Alejandro from ASI. That's our ASI president and our ASA vice president for Campus Life. So I'll pass the microphone to them.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Fowler. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Graduate Student Orientation. My name is Erin Pruitt. I am this year's ASI president, as well as a graduate student as well. Currently studying, I'm starting my 2nd year here as the Master's in Business Administration program. So thank you so much for joining us. Continuing, I see some students, I recognize the names that are returning students, so welcome back. And for those who are joining that I don't recognize, I can't wait to get to know all of you. ASI, we are your student body here on campus, so we're here to work for you as well as be a voice for all of you. I think this is super important to keep in mind, knowing that, we're not just here for undergraduate students, we're here to also make sure your voices are heard, because what your needs and concerns are as a undergraduate student can be very different from graduate school. Definitely take advantage and listen to all the resources provided today. I know as a graduate student myself, I definitely love and take advantage of the Graduate Student Center as well as the Graduate Student Lab. It's been very great for finding, as Dr. Fowler said, finding your spot on campus to kind of sit and study. So really take that into account. What we do here, I am the president. I'll have Alejandro explain his role here in a second. But we have multiple directors as well as executive officers. So our executive team, for example, we have Marcy Diaz, Marcela Diaz, but everyone knows her as Marcy. She is our executive vice president. We also have Kristen Delamar, who is our vice president of finance. Alejandro Martinez, who's our vice president of campus life. Ricky Lee Corba, who is our Vice President of University Affairs, and Antonio Reyes, who is our Vice President of Legislative Affairs. You can find all this information and like how to contact us on the link that's listed right there, as well as we're housed in the student union. But why it's important is because, for example, when it comes to legislative affairs, Antonio, he's really looking at legislation that can happen, that's happening right now that may affect students here to keep you all up to date, as well as Ricky Lee Corba is our VP of UA. And that means that if you have any questions, comments, concerns, when you're in your classes, if you notice that you're consistently having issues with, for example, this happened to me last semester, we had a nighttime class and it constantly was unlocked. And so we'd have to call UPD. Maybe if there's a door that's broken or it's a consistent issue, you can come voice these concerns to ASI and we can make sure we talk with the appropriate members to say, hey, students are finding this, they need these resources, as well as provide you with any resources you may need. I'm going to pass it to Alejandro to talk about the other important aspect of ASI and how we're here to help you, and that's with campus life. I know Dr. Fowler talked about that work-life balance. Don't forget to show up to events as part of that mental de-stress and getting involved, meeting new students. Actually, before I pass it to Alejandro, though, I realized I should also mention the fact of the graduate student position, Director of Graduate Students. Currently, we already have some applications, so we're going to go through that process and try to get somebody appointed as soon as possible. In the meantime, that doesn't mean your voices won't be heard. Please feel free to email me or any one of our directors if you have any questions. As a graduate student, I'm trying to make sure I'm very mindful of that because you are my peers. And so making sure that I can hear your voices, comments, questions, concern. And as soon as we do have a director, I'll make sure that we send that information out. If you want to have if you want to be able to come and talk to us or hear more about what's going on a consistent basis, when school starts, we'll be having our meetings and ITVC at the bottom of the library. And that will be from 3 to 5 on Fridays. So please feel free to talk to us. Or like I said, you can reach out here via email, our links, our phone numbers. We're very accessible. You can come walk into the student union. It's very important to make sure that we talk to you all, know your thoughts and comments. But I'm going to pass it to Alejandro because he is our VP of Campus Life. So he'll talk about some events that are happening this first week at campus, what he does, and how you can get involved and really have that school spirit.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for the introduction, Aaron. My name is Alejandro Martinez, and I'm serving this year as our ASI Vice President of Campus Life. First of all, congratulations to you all in getting into this graduate program. It's an honor, of course, to be serving as your Vice President of Campus Life this year. Our whole goal this year is to provide lots of events for students on campus, including undergraduate and graduate students. And as Aaron mentioned specifically, the director of graduate students, we hope to get that soon as well, because that director does get to sit on my committee and does get to plan out special events targeted towards you all. So yeah, we got quite an exciting year. As Aaron mentioned, we have a couple of things going on this first week of school. So, this first week, we're going to get kicked off and everything with a bunch of welcoming events. This next Wednesday, actually, we will be having our welcome bash, which will be showcasing some of the student life and resources here on campus. So that will be from 12 to 1 on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we'll be participating in events such as the Welcome Back Rally, which is from 5 to 7. And that is where athletics is taking the big swing and just introducing our athletics and student life to all of the incoming students of the following year. But then also on Tuesday, if you guys are interested about ASI and want to know more about us, on Tuesday, we're going to have acai and ASI, where we'll be giving out acai bowls, and also have ASI members there present to introduce themselves to you all and make sure that you guys understand that we are a resource that you guys can come to at any point in time throughout the school year. And if there's ever an issue with regards to being a student or just an issue in general, we are always that voice for you, and we are always willing to provide any service. And so, yes, thank you.
And I know this was a lot of information all at once, so our apologies, but wanted to make sure you have all the resources available to you. And also, we will be posting this throughout the week on our social media. So please make sure to follow at CSUB_ASI for more information. And then, like we said, reach out to us via link, in person, or any way that works best. And Alejandro just dropped in the chat the Instagram. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Awesome. Thanks for being here, Aaron and Alejandro. I will say, just to echo some of the things they said, those Friday meetings, when I'm able to attend, I really get a good pulse on what's happening on campus each week. And so if I'm not there, I usually am represented by someone that can get that information back to me, such as the graduate student leader that they were referencing, which we hope to have in place sometime this fall. But yes, please get to those meetings. And Ed Webb will be joining us a little later to share how you can get points and swag for attending these events that we're referencing. So you'll hear from Ed a little later in the orientation. All right. Next, I would like to pass it to Eric Lord, our Counseling Center Services and Group Workshops.
Hello, everyone. Sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, I think. All goes according to plan. As you said, as Dr. Fowler said, I'm Eric Lord. I work as a counselor here at CSUB in the Counseling Center. And we're located on the also on the far west side of campus, right next to the big blue water tower, almost to the Mercy Southwest Hospital, but not quite. We're a stone's throw away in the Rivendell building. And if you were to go onto our website, you can actually I could show you that right now. Our website is here at csub.edu/counseling center. That's our team right now. You can check us out. And this is our building, the Rivendell building for the Counseling Center. I wanted to recognize what we do here outside of what other counseling functions are on campus. We're not academic advisors, so we don't control your schedule. We don't really do that as far as like your pathway towards graduation goes. We do talk with a lot of students about their pathway to graduation and those classes and all that. But the academic advisors or that in your department are going to be in charge of that, those counselors on that side. We are also not career counselors like they will be over at CC, the career education, those opportunities folks. They are counselors in that way. They have skilled in that arena. We provide mental health counseling and relationship counseling in the form of therapy. We have 5 therapists that are in our office here, 2 marriage and family therapists, 2 clinical social workers, and I saw in the chat there's a couple of social workers coming into the master's program. So we're excited to have you and everyone else as well. And we have a clinical psychologist, and all of our staff have been here. Two of our staff have been here for a couple of years now, and the rest of us have been here for over a decade. So we're well versed in the university process and all of the offerings here at CSUB, and we're also here for you. And so we get a lot of folks from undergraduate programs coming in. We get a lot of folks from grad school coming in. So we provide mental health counseling for students. Primarily, students come in for individual counseling therapy, and it could be anything from stress, kind of the everyday stress and a lot of things going on for you. It can also be for other personal concerns, maybe trying to balance out family, work, school life stuff. And then if you're feeling like something else is happening, possibly within a clinical range of diagnosis, we can discuss that and look at possible clinical anxiety, depression, and even other types of disorders, bipolar disorder, and we've even seen schizophrenia as well on occasion. It's much rarer, but we do see that. We provide, typically with individual counseling, it's 50-minute sessions. And if you come in at the beginning of the semester, I always tell students sooner than later would be better, because you'll get more sessions in throughout the semester. Typically, if you come in every other week, we will range of about 6 to 8 sessions in a given semester that can be offered. If a lot of students take 3 or 4 sessions and they kind of move on, things have been going a lot better, then they're okay to move forward. And other students stay on with us for semester to semester. It's kind of a neat thing to have here for folks that want somebody that's outside of their family and their friends, objective, and can really kind of just talk openly about things with the counselor. We also have students that take 3 or 4 sessions and then come back a year and a half later, so it's really up to you. It's all voluntary. We don't mandate any type of counseling here. We also provide group counseling as well. If you go to our website, you can navigate through there as far as groups, workshops, and other events that we put together throughout the semester. So some group counseling can be, we actually have a therapist that's going to be starting, this is good for everybody here, a graduate studies group. You might benefit from some group therapy, other students that are in grad school. So let's sit together and talk about it. You may be in different programs, so you have different things going on, but sometimes it's just helpful to understand the stresses together and know you're not alone. So stay tuned for that. You'll start getting some emails from us soon to get connected there. And some of these groups are online, so they're over Zoom teletherapy, and others are in person here in our office. We have a group room, or we also call it a conference room. It's multifunctioning. So that should be starting soon. We'll also offer other groups throughout time, maybe a depression group, or I think we're going to have a women's success group coming up pretty soon, academic success, that kind of thing. And the next thing we offer is workshops. Workshops are a bit more informative, so they're educationally based. So there'll be like a PowerPoint involved probably. You're not expected to necessarily share like you would in therapy, although you can. And so I'll be running an anxiety workshop coming up. It's called Anxiety Toolbox. So look forward to seeing that email. And I'll also be putting together a depression workshop. It's called Getting Unstuck, how to work through depression symptoms and what to look out for with all of that. So we talk about that. And those workshops are 3 sessions that are kind of progressive. You can drop into any one of them and get the information. But you get a workbook to work on some stuff with these worksheets, and you kind of go through this process. And it's pretty neat for a lot of folks, and a lot of students have found that very helpful. We also offer general studies courses, are typically accessed by undergrad, but I've had some post-bac students that have come into these general studies courses over time. The most recognized one that I see students in is the peer education and advising course that I teach. It's a suicide prevention course. We talk about depression, alcohol, and suicide and how to prevent it. And we take you through a training and then ask you to go out to the campus community and provide that a short training, shortened version to the campus community. So those are the services by and large that we have to offer. You'll also see us out on the campus in different venues. We'll be out in different departments providing different workshops and presentations. You might see us come to a class to provide a presentation, as well as events like we have a candlelight event coming up. So be aware there'll be an email coming out to you at the end of September. I believe it's September 26th, out on our student union patio. And the candlelight event is something we do every year. I think we're in our 10th year this year, to talk about and support suicide awareness and mental health concerns. It's along lines of Suicide Awareness Month, so we are with each other in that capacity. We light candles to commemorate that and be with each other. In the springtime, we put a mental health awareness event, which is a pretty big event. There's lots of music and food and resources and activities to do, and we put that together in the spring. The one thing I want to tell everyone here, if you get something out of all I've said, is that we provide the counseling to you confidentially, meaning we don't tell anybody that you came in, and that's on purpose. It's one of the reasons therapy works, is because people can come to counseling and know that that information is not going anywhere else, and we take that very seriously. Our licenses are also about that. It's ethically speaking and it's legally speaking. So it's all confidential counseling. The only time we have to leave the office is for mandated reporting. So things that teachers would have to report as well, doctors, things like child abuse, elder abuse, dependent care abuse, or if you have a plan to harm yourself with the reasonable intent to attempt suicide or to hurt somebody else. I talk about suicide with a lot of students. Probably be surprised with how often it comes up, but just talking about it or thinking about it is not a reason to have to breach confidentiality. But if you'd had a plan, we need to speak to somebody to make sure you stay safe. There's no insurance needed, no payments required to come in. Everything's through your student fees, so we are good there. You just have to make the appointment and come on in. We also provide teletherapy, individual counseling. over Zoom. And so if that works better for you, maybe you live further away and you're not coming to campus that day and you'd like to do it out of your comfort of your home, we can do that. But most students still typically want to come in and sit on that couch behind me over there. And we just talk in my office or the other counselor's office. Again, all providers are licensed therapists, 2 marriage and family therapists, 2 clinical psychologists, and 2 social workers. I also teach in the social work department, so folks that are in that arena, you might see me as one of the instructors as an adjunct lecturer in the evening times, if that's when you're going to classes. With that said, I don't know if we have time for questions, but that's all for me.
Thanks, Eric. And yes, we'll probably hold our questions to the end just to make sure we have enough time. What Eric is not saying, and you heard all the wonderful services that they offer, is that's also a brand new renovated building, and it is nice. So if you get a chance just to stop over and say, hi, I met you at orientation, check out the building. I could see why folks want to come there and sit on the couch. They did a great job. So thank you for that.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Next up, we have Jorge and Gerardo, and they're here representing Equity, Inclusion, and Compliance, Title IX. And I'll pass the microphone to them.
Thank you, Dr. Fowler. As Dr. Fowler said, my name is Jorge Villatoro. I'm the Assistant Director for Equity, Inclusion, and Compliance, and I'll let my colleague here, Gerardo, introduce himself.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Gerardo Bobadilla, and I am the OVW Project Director. OVW stands for Office of Violence Against Women.
Thank you, Gerardo. While they're working on getting our slides up, I'll just preview a little bit of what we're gonna we're gonna talk about in a bit. We're gonna talk about, Title IX. A lot of you have received probably a notification regarding that in your email, so we'll talk through that. We're gonna talk about, perfect segue here, we're gonna talk about what our division does. Our division is like EIC, Equity, Inclusion, Compliance. It promotes a shared responsibility to create a harmonious community on campus. We lead these efforts through collaboration, education, and advocacy. We believe that everybody here, from students to faculty to staff, play a role in the nature and the community that we have here on campus. We know that you rely on us, and we also rely on you to help us continue to maintain this wonderful campus that we have here to be welcoming for everyone who comes here. So we encourage you and we invite you to continue to be part of those efforts. Let's see here. I think I have control. I do. Okay, so what is Title IX? Title IX protects people from discrimination based on sex and education programs or activities that receive federal financial assistance. So as you know, CSUB receives federal assistance from the government. So because of that, we do have to abide by Title IX. Title IX is protection against sex-based harassment, protection against sexual misconduct, which includes sexual harassment, domestic violence, dating violence, sexual assault, stalking, and sexual exploitation. It also provides protection and accommodations for pregnant and parenting students. We'll go over that in a little bit. And gender equity in athletics. So your main point of contact when it comes to reporting sexual misconduct, if you witness anything, you're experiencing anything yourself, or if a friend comes to you about anything, any experience they've gone through in this realm, one of the first point of contacts you can go to is Marcus Brown or myself. Marcus is our Executive Director of Equity, Inclusion, and Compliance, but he also has the hat of Title IX Coordinator, and I serve as his deputy in that capacity. So either one of us, you come towards us, shoot us an email, give us a call, walk in our office, or hey, I've experienced this, I want to file a complaint, or what are my options? We're here to provide those support services. All right, other options on campus for reporting, of course, myself and Marcus. Areas on campus include Emily Callahan, who is our Dean of Students, Hilda Nieblas, who's our Director of Housing, Ruby Alvarez, Director of Student Organizations, and Cindy Goodman, who is an Associate Director over in Athletics. These 4 people are aware of what Title IX is. They regularly are part of those conversations and helping us craft our efforts and outreach as well. So if you know any of these in your spaces, you're welcome to approach them, and they'll make sure you get to us as well. We have our campus advocate as well. We currently have a vacancy in that position right now, but Gerardo is stepping in on some capacity, so he is someone you can talk to in a confidential space. Of course, our counseling center is a confidential resource. You can go to them and talk to them. They're not required to bring anything to our attention. You know, if you report something to your faculty or to a staff member on campus, they are mandated reporters and they are required to share the information with us, including contact information, so we can reach out to you to provide you services should you need them. Okay. Our student health services on campus, who also received a swanky upgrade recently as well. So if you, I encourage you to visit there. They have probably the swankiest nursing room on campus. So I encourage you, if you need them, if you ever need it or you know someone who needs it, to go there as well. Okay. Reporting to law enforcement, we do have UPD on campus. They are police officers. So if you need to report a crime to them, I always encourage you to go to them as well. Whenever they receive anything related to around Title IX, something that's reported to Title IX, they forward us that information as well. So our side, our administrative side, can also reach out to them and provide support services. All right, I'm going to pitch it over here to Gerardo. He's going to go over our Title IX training.
Thank you, Jorge. And I know, Jorge, when you first introduced our Division of Equity, Inclusion, and Compliance, you did mention about the Title IX training. So just a reminder that all students, incoming freshmen, incoming grad students, transfer students, everybody has to do a Title IX training every academic year. And the Title IX trainings includes about information about consent, sexual misconduct, campus resources and support, and bystander intervention. Again, it's required every academic year. And you will receive an email from us letting you know how to complete the Title IX training. You can do it by yourself online, or as well as we're going to have some workshops that I'll be hosting in person in September, and that you could sign up with the email that we sent you if you want to do it in person. As well as I'll be doing some workshops online through Zoom. If you want to do it, in person or over Zoom, that's completely fine. If you don't want to do it on your own, but I highly recommend everybody to do that the first couple of weeks during your class, because you won't have a heavy, workload or classroom work. So get it done before September 24th, because if you wait till then, you will have a hold in your account, which means you won't be able to register for classes the following semester. And we don't want that to happen to you, because we want to make sure that you are able to register for all the classes before the spring semester starts. So again, remember to do it before September 24th of 2024, or else you will have a hold in your account. And if you have any issues, or you realize that, hey, I didn't really listen to Gerardo or Jorge, and I have a hold in my account, please email us at t9training@csub.edu for any issues logging in, or if you have a hold in your account and it was never lifted, or maybe you simply forgot to do the Title IX training, even though I'm reminding you again, you have an email to do it, as well as we're going to have a workshop next month on Title IX training. So again, email us for any questions.
Thank you, Gerardo. One thing that I add regarding accommodations, if you are someone who find the training too triggering due to past experience or for religious purposes as well, Gerardo can do a one-on-one accommodation for you. There are no exemptions from the training. The training is required for everybody, but we can put some accommodations into place to make have the training be a little bit more palatable for you. Okay. Next thing I'm going to talk about is pregnancy accommodations. If you know, or yourself, or a student or a friend of yours who becomes pregnant or are pregnant while attending CSUB, there are some pregnancy accommodations that we could put into place in your classes. Basically, these accommodations make things a little bit more flexible for students who are pregnant. It allows for some medical leave after giving birth, and so on. So if you know of someone or you yourself may benefit from these, feel free to reach out, scan this QR code for visit our website, or just type in pregnancy accommodations on the main CSUB website, and it'll take you right to our webpage. Okay? Some other resources include the availability of pads, tampons on campus. There's on our website, single user neutral restrooms on locations, pronouns and affirmed names. So if you have an affirmed name that you prefer to use on the class roster or your CSUB ID, you can make that change. There are prayer rooms here on campus as well. There is one here at Magic and also in the library. So this is just the general makeup of our team. Claudia Katoda, who is also our Chief Diversity Officer, also serves as our department head. She serves the university in all diversity initiatives on campus. Marcus is our executive director. I myself, the assistant director. Gerardo, our OVW project director. David Silva is our travel liaison. David's our one of our newest members of our team. David serves in the capacity of when it comes to travel relations with the local indigenous and tribal nations in our area, also with students on campus. So if you are a student or you know of a student who wants to have some ideas of how to bring more tribal representation or indigenous student representation on campus, or some ideas of some events, I encourage you to reach out to David. He is eager to hear them and hear from them. We also have Ludi, who is also in the MPA program, and I forgot to mention, myself and Gerardo are products of the MPA program here as well. So those who are taking that program, you're in the best program, okay? The absolute best one. So you're gonna have a great time. If you ever need any guidance in that program, also feel free to reach out. Let's see here. So just a little bit around our campus advocate. Of course, like I mentioned, there is a vacancy there, but as soon as we fill this position, we're gonna make sure we communicate loud and proud to the university when that comes through. But our campus advocate, when we get them back, they do provide that confidential support to students, specific to students who are survivors of domestic violence or sexual violence. If they needed someone to talk to, but they don't want to go any further, just someone to hear them out. The campus advocate can serve in that capacity. The campus advocate can also assist students in filing any grievances or filing police reports or going to court with them and stuff like that. So like I said, as soon as we get someone in that position, we'll make sure we promote it. And I think that's it from me. So thank you very much. Best of luck. You're in great company. If you ever have any questions or need any guidance, do not hesitate to reach out.
Thank you so much, Jorge and Gerardo. It means so much for you to be here and present those resources for our graduate students. Next up, we have Jasmine Padilla, and she is here representing the Dreamers Resource Center, the Multicultural Alliance and Gender Equity Center. Jasmine.
Thank you, Dr. Fowler. Congratulations to our new runners starting this year, and we hope that we can support you in all of your academic journey throughout your time here at CSUB Bakersfield. Today, I'm going to talk about what MAGIC offers, and I'll start off with our purpose. MAGIC aims to uplift, affirm, and support students from various backgrounds, whether they're from cultural affiliations, gender identities, sexual orientations, and religions. This is the place for you. So we're a multicultural center. Our services that we have here in our center, we have student identity space lounges. So if you are part and are interested in being part of a club that's a multicultural club, if they apply to one of these spaces throughout the year, this is a place where they will be congregating, they will get together, have their reunions, their meetings, and so on. We also offer free printing at our center. So we have a computer lab where you can come and do free printing. We have 4 computers, and we have tables and a conference table where you can also use and bring your own devices. As Jorge mentioned, we have a private nursing room. So we have that space for pregnant, postpartum mothers who are breastfeeding or need somewhere to use for privacy to lactate. And we also have a snack space. So we call it a kitchenette because we don't have a full kitchen, but we do have a refrigerator, we have a microwave, we have a Keurig with coffee and other snacks. So we're hoping to have a remote food pantry here pretty soon as well. And we have a prayer and meditation room. So for those that need that space, that we have a room here for you, and you can just reserve it. No reservations required, but it is better if you come in on a regular basis. We'll have that space here for you. In addition to that, I want to promote our academic textbook loan program. So we have a library of textbooks and regular books that you can come and rent for free every term. Our course supply is limited, but we may have a textbook that you may need for the new year. So come and visit our center and look through our library. And if you find a book that you need for one of your classes, you can check this textbook out or other novel and use it for the term. And then when you're done using it, you just return it. And we also receive donations as well. So when you're done with your books, you can also donate to our textbook library. And that is for free. We also have Jay's Library. So we have a library dedicated to the late Jay Bronstein, a trans woman and a CSUB student. The books consist of gender and sexuality affirming books, queer history, abolition, and more. So please, if you're interested in learning more about this space and these libraries, they're available for you for the year. In addition to that, the Dreamers Resource Center, which is another component, so it's a shared space with the Magic Center. We have the same services as far as the computer lab, the free printing, the study spaces. We also offer class presentations. So for many students that are either identify as undocumented, AB 540 recipients, DACA recipients, and those who are from mixed status families, we provide services in terms of free legal immigration services for you if you are a student, a faculty, or staff member, and your immediate family. So it could be your spouse, your parent, a sibling, your children, and even if you graduate. So graduate students, when you graduate and up to 2 years after, you can still receive those free legal immigration services. Our partner and our provider for the immigration legal services is called Immigrant Legal Defense, and you can actually schedule an appointment via our website. So come visit us during the year. Dr. Fowler mentioned earlier that if you need a space to come and study, this is one of those spaces. We're right next door to the AARC and of course counseling. So we're out in Rohan, and I'll put my information in the chat so you can come visit us. And we also have a social media page via Instagram, and that will all be included in there. So wishing you all a great year. Go Runners.
Awesome. Thanks, Jasmine. Next up, we have Jessica from the Health Center to talk to you about immunization, information, and services available. Jessica.
Hi, thank you, Dr. Fowler. So my name is Jessica, and I am a health education assistant at CSUB Student Health Services. So I think if we click through, yeah, one more slide. You'll click one more time. Perfect, thank you. So we are located on the south side of campus. If you'll click 2 more times. We are right across the street from the Icardo Center. We are the big brown building surrounded by all of the trees. And we are actually an accredited facility, which means that you get the same kind of care at our office that you would get at an outside provider's office or a clinic, things like that. We also follow HIPAA, and so we offer complete confidentiality, just like the counseling center does. So if you come to us, nobody has to know. Yeah, next slide. So we have a bunch of different staff at our office. We have physicians, 2 physicians. We have 1 nurse practitioner, nursing staff, which includes a registered RN, excuse me, I couldn't remember what it's called, an RN and medical assistants. We have referral specialists. So if there's something that we don't offer in our office, we can get you sent out to somebody in the community. We also have clinical assistants, an in-house pharmacy, in-house lab, and a health education department. Oh, I'm not sure why that came up the way it did. So as far as the services go, we have medical evaluations, health education, family planning services, lab tests, x-ray referrals, first aid, telehealth, STI testings, medications, physicals, immunizations, and more. There's more on our website that I will reference later in this slideshow, but everything from medical evaluations all the way down from STI testing, that is completely free. We don't take insurance at our office. But most of the things that we do charge for, the medications, the physicals, immunizations, we are not trying to make money off of you guys. And so everything that we give you is at cost. So the medications might be less expensive with us than if you did go through your insurance. So I would definitely recommend reaching out to us and seeing what the cost is for those. Physicals are very minimal cost, and immunizations, we don't do a lot of those. And so those are a little bit more expensive. But definitely reach out to us and we can get you scheduled for an appointment if you would like to be seen for those. I know. Oh. I think I'm controlling it. Okay. I'm so sorry. I'm not sure what happens with my slides, but if on the left side of the screen, the first part talks about our Student Health Advisory Committee. That is a group of students that we get together with once a semester, and we just talk about things that are going on in the health center. We have a group of community or campus partners that come and just kind of let us know what's going on in their department as well as what's going on in our department. And then you guys can provide feedback to us. So we're not just medical, we also do some educational sides too. And then we do offer internships if you guys are interested. We have paid and unpaid positions available. We actually have a peer educator position available. Our graduate student leader is already fulfilled. But we do have a peer educator listed on Handshake right now if you guys are interested. You can always email Lauren if you want more information, and that's lheadland1@csub.edu. And then the other thing that we offer is Narcan, and we actually just got a vending machine. It's up and running, so we're really excited to offer that, but it offers free Narcan to students. It also has sexual health items as well as other drug and alcohol safety items, menstrual products, and then we have some sunscreen in there as a bonus. So we are open for both in-person and drop-in appointments. We are open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, and then our appointment hours are 8:30 to 11:30 and 1 to 4:30 in the afternoon. For our Bakersfield campus, you can give us a call if you want to schedule an appointment. As far as our Antelope Valley location, we are contracted with a local urgent care. And so all you have to do is give our office a call, the Bakersfield office, and we can give you a referral so that you can access the care at the urgent care there for free. So I don't know that this will apply to any of you, but this is the immunization requirement. It is for hepatitis B, and it is for students who are 18 or younger at the start of their first semester. So as of August 26th, if you are 18 or younger, you do need to fulfill this requirement. If you're 19 or older on that date, you don't need to worry about this. I'm just going to go through it really quickly. So the hepatitis B, you do need to submit record of 3 doses, and this can be from your childhood immunization. It can be a more recent dose. If you don't have access to those records, you can submit what's called a titer, which is a positive blood test that shows how much immunity is in your system. If you don't have either of those, we also accept medical and religious exemption forms. The upload website is there. It's health.csub.edu, as well as our email and phone number if you have any questions. And then on the next page, I'll show you our website, and that's where you can go to find all of the answers to all of your questions about immunizations. There's also an upload video that walks you step by step how to upload those immunizations. So we are also on social media. We've got Facebook, Instagram, and X, Twitter, and then our website address is there too. So we would love it if you follow us. We're going to be posting more about our vending machine and contest outreach things we have coming up. So thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Jessica. And I can attest that those slides were perfect, and I don't know what happened during the
No
presentation.
worries.
So
We're
anyway,
good. Thanks.
I see it picked up my hand when I raised it. So, okay. Next up, we have Lenny Perez, Services for Students with Disabilities. Lenny.
All right, Dr. Fowler, thank you very much. I am Lenny. I work, as it says there, for Services for Students with Disabilities. Physically, our building, we're located, if you're familiar with campus, most likely you are, we're right next to the Veteran Success Center, right around the corner from financial aid. So we are kind of hidden, but if you're looking on an actual map, building 10, which again will mean nothing unless you're looking at one of the maps. Who are we? So this is a list of our staff. Our current director, Dr. Jason Watkins. He's who we report to. I'm the third name down. I go by Lenny. We also have a learning disability specialist. Not all CSUs have a learning disability specialist, so we are lucky that Tiana is with us, and so she can do assessments in that field. Patricia and Sally, if you ever come by our office, they will most likely be the ones you meet. We have a sign language interpreter. If you've ever seen sign language interpreters, either on Zoom or in person, that happens through our office. And then a little love over to the AV campus. Shelly Brooks works over in AV with our department as well. So again, students that are attending at that campus can still be registered with us and receive services. jumped ahead of myself a little bit, but services, as our name says, we provide accommodations or services, and we call those accommodations. And we help students that have some kind of a disability, whether it's a learning disability, physical disability. I've been updating my presentations by adding medical conditions. Anything that may get in your way of your education. And as I read our mission statement, we're here to provide support services which will enable every student, regardless of disability, to have access to a university education. So, of course, it's about that equity. We want to make sure that everyone has equal and fair access to their education. So if there is something prohibiting that, that's when our department can come in and help out. Who is eligible? This is just a few examples. Of course, this is not an exhaustive list. ABI, acquired brain injury, or TBI, traumatic brain injuries, students that may have ADD or ADHD, the autism spectrum as well. Deaf or hard of hearing, again, we have a sign language interpreter and can offer other kinds of accommodations. If students don't use ASL and are affected by a hearing impairment in different ways, then we have multiple types of accommodations. I mentioned learning disability. We can assess students. So if I know at this stage in your education, if you may have a learning disability, it may have been identified already. That may be something that you are already working through. If not, though, if you still feel that there's something else there, there's something impeding my education. Information's not getting through as it used to. Maybe you could have gone through undergrad feeling like that and not really realizing there could be something else. A lot of students with learning disabilities with any of these descriptions may be working 3 times as hard as a student that does not have a learning disability. And again, you work and you compensate and you continue to work through that. So again, at this stage, if you feel that that's something going on, or you have a classmate or anyone else that you feel might be in the situation, they can come in and talk to us. Like I think all of these services here, there's no additional charge. This is all included. So our learning disability assessment, which could cost anywhere from $800 to $1,200 if you're doing this out on your own. And again, this is a service that we offer. Mobility limitation. If you need something else in the classroom, if students use a wheelchair and they need a freestanding table, or if there's something about the makeup of the classroom that needs to be changed and altered because it's not accessible, then we can help with that. Psychological, psychiatric, things like general anxiety disorder, major depressive disorder, those are some of the things that fall into there. And some folks necessarily don't think these fall into disability, but it does. If these are things that are happening in your life that, again, that you're struggling with, there is assistance, not just us. I mean, a bunch of great resources here. Visual limitations, and then temporary. Something happens, you get into a car accident or fall out of a tree, break your arm, your dominant arm. If you need accommodations just for several weeks, several months, maybe you had a surgery or something, with that we can still help. Types of accommodations. Again, I mentioned the assessment for learning disabilities. Our students also receive priority registration. And some of the standard accommodations that students may or may not be eligible for would be extended time on exams. We have a testing center here in our office that students can use to take their exams. Assistance with the note-taking, being able to record lectures. Some professors allow lectures to be recorded, others may not. But again, we can permit this accommodation if you're eligible. I mentioned ASL interpreters, which is, again, American Sign Language. Adaptive computer equipment, if you do need something on campus. We don't provide software programs for at home, but if you need access to something like a text-to-speech program or a Zoom text to enlarge the screen, we can make sure you have access to that when you're on campus, either in class or there are stations in the library. We can make sure that, again, if you need these programs, that you have access to those. Alternative or adaptive computer equipment. Yeah, that was that one. Alternate media, that's like what we call electronic text. A lot of books now are coming out electronically, that's great. They're supposed to be, technically publishers are supposed to have all this available electronically, but that's not always the case. If you're eligible for that, then we can help out. That means we get your book in electronic format, use a screen reader. And again, this is like what used to be called books on tape. You can listen to your books while you read. How to qualify, you must be a student, all of you are. We have an online application. You just go to our website and I have a link on there that will walk you through the website. We work along with the health center with the point and click. And so you'll navigate through there. Students will fill out an application and you will either turn in some sort of learning disability paperwork that you may have, or we have a form, it's just 2 pages long. You take it to your healthcare provider. Could be medical doctor, nurse practitioner, therapist. You take that so they can list the diagnosis and what the impact is on your learning and academics. So those are pretty much the 3 steps if students are interested in registering with our program. This is the type of documentation. I'll just skip over that. These are things that you may have from your high school time. And if not, number 3 is the form that I mentioned that you could have a healthcare provider sign off on. Just a visual of what the website looks like. Those are the areas that you would circle. I have a quick little slide of what it looks like, but to end with, I will put our web address on there. Everything happens through our website. I've got my email, our office email, and some phone numbers. Again, we've got AV out there as well, and then the main campus. And so to reiterate, we just want to make sure that you have equal access to your education. So if you feel like there is something like this that's impacting your life, please check in our office. You can come by and talk to me. You can apply. Again, no additional cost. I think that about does it. I thank you for your time and thank you for listening.
Thanks, Lenny. We greatly appreciate it, and thank you for sharing all that information. Next up, we have Janet Rivera, who will be presenting from the Career Education and Community Engagement.
Hello. Welcome, everyone. We are excited to welcome you this Monday. My name is Janet Rivera. I am a career counselor at the Center for Career Education and Community Engagement. We have a long name. That's why we go by the CC office or by the Career Center here on campus. Whether you were an undergrad here or you're an incoming new student, welcome. So our office is located by the Runner Cafe. We're in between the library, us, that's our picture right there, and then the Runner Cafe. We are here Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. But what we offer, or what the CC office is here for you, is with anything career related. That means career counseling. We have individual sessions, but also recorded workshops. So for example, if you need help with your resume, if you need to prepare for an interview, we help you with that. We do a mock interview with you. If you need help with your job search, we also help you with that. If you want to explore more of your career, whether it's social work or English teaching, whatnot, we help you with that. And of course, you already know all the good stuff about grad school. We connect students with employers through career fairs. We have, I'll go into a little bit more details about the career fairs, but we also have employer information sessions where employers come to campus looking to hire students for internships or part-time jobs. We also have on-campus interviews. That way you're already on campus doing the interview. You don't have to go off campus to their company to do the interview. We provide access to job, internship, and community volunteer opportunities. And all these opportunities are on Handshake, which I'll go over in a bit. For our individual career counseling services, we have the option of a walk-in. Or walk-ins are in person in our office. It's quick 20-minute sessions compared to the appointments, which are 45 minutes. No appointment is necessary. We will begin our walk-in hours the second week of the semester, and it will be Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. For our appointments, you have the option of doing in-person or virtual, usually Zoom. They're 45 minutes. They are scheduled through Handshake. As a student, you have unlimited access, so please take advantage of your free appointments because after you graduate, you will only have 2 free appointments. For our AV students, you could schedule virtual appointments on Handshake anytime. But we also visit the AV campus each semester. So just be on the lookout for the date because we're planning that soon. For our workshops, we have recorded our workshops on a variety of career development topics such as resume, interview with confidence, are you career expo ready? They are available on our CSUB website or on our CSUB YouTube page. So make sure you subscribe to our page or channel. The PowerPoints are available as well on Handshake if you wanted to have the actual PowerPoint of it. And then recordings are available, and then we have most of them, but the next one will be coming up in the next couple of weeks. Career fairs, we host several career events throughout the semester. For the fall, we have the volunteer fair on September 4th. Nonprofit organizations come to campus looking to hire for volunteers. So such a good opportunity to connect with their community and then to build your resume as well. We have the Career Expo, which is on October 3rd. This is the one we actually recommend for most students to attend because we have over 60, 70, 80 employers coming to campus looking to hire interns and then later on full-time jobs. The spring, we have volunteer fair and a Career Expo as well. This is our website, www.csub.edu/CECE, and I'll put it on the chat as well too. But on our website, you'll go under the student side of it. And then you'll be able to look for resources that are available for you through here, such as CC events or walk-in schedule. You'll be able to download resume samples if you don't have your resume yet, or you need to revise it and make it more professional. We have samples for you to download for free. We have exploring careers, such career assessments and other things available for you. And then we have Handshake. So Handshake is our system that we use where the CSUB uses, and it has all of the jobs, internship, volunteer opportunities. You could see upcoming career events where you could schedule your appointment to meet with a career counselor, where you could submit your resume to be reviewed online. And the good thing about Handshake is that it's connected directly to your My CSUB credential. So you don't have to create another username, another password, or anything like that. You just log in, it will prompt you with My CSUB credentials. You log in, and then you'll be able to have access to the Handshake. And it's you could also download the app on your iPhones or Android phones. That way you have the app available on your phone. That was a quick rundown on CC. Of course, you can always schedule an appointment to meet with us. That we could go over Handshake or other career development topics. Right here, we have a QR code to our Instagram. If you want to follow us, we always keep students updated of upcoming events through CC, but also CSUB as well too, and a QR code on our website as well. And that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Janet. And I just want to add, when CC has their graduate school fair in November, that was, again, just to reiterate, November 7th, that will be in person. We will also have our fall 2024 Graduate Studies Summit directly following the graduate fair, and then directly following the Graduate Studies Summit, we'll have our grad social. Last year, we had that in the multi-purpose room where over there in the where the Starbucks is, that building. It's to be determined right now, but just so everyone knows, that will be in person. So the graduate school fair will be in person, followed by the Graduate Studies Summit. We'll have 3 presentations, and then we'll have the grad social following CC's event. Thanks again, Janet. All right, next up, we have Athena, and she is from the Alumni Association.
All right. First of all, I wanted to say congratulations to the graduate students. It sounds like many of you are already CSUB alumni, and for those who are not, you soon will be. My name is Athena and I'm with the Alumni Engagement Team, also known as the Alumni Association here on campus. So we currently represent more than 66,000 graduates, which is really awesome. I love seeing the numbers climb with every commencement, whether it's, in the winter or in spring. We're led by the Office of Alumni Engagement. We're housed in University Advancement. For those of you who don't know where that is, we are by the old dorms. So we're kind of tucked away a little bit, but that's our office, and I work with an incredible team. There's 3 full-time staff on the Alumni Engagement team, and we also have a student assistant who helps us. So basically what we do is we just try to offer multiple events, different programs, and keep alumni connected to CSUB. We also oversee a student mentoring program, which I'll go into more detail on a little bit later. This is our current Alumni Association Board of Directors for the upcoming academic year, 2024-2025. All of these individuals are CSUB alumni. They're incredibly involved, not just on campus with CSUB, but they're incredibly involved in the community. So we have a wonderful group of people who love this university and are very dedicated and have dedicated that time into continuing to make the the university better and work in with the alumni engagement team. Here are some alumni stories. From some different alumni we have. One of them is Donna Barba Higuera. I really actually love Donna just because when I first started in this position, I had the opportunity to meet her, and I don't know, I'm a book nerd and she's a medal winning storyteller. So I read her book, so getting to meet her in person was really cool. And the fact that she's a CSUB alumna is even cooler. So she was actually a biology student, which is funny because she ended up getting her her career in writing. So really neat. We have fantastic alumni, as you can see. Olivia Garcia is another one of, she's also a writer actually, and she's one of our alumni rising runners from the previous year. We also have some different alumni, such as like Ken Haney. He was one of our Alumni Hall of Famers from 2024, and he works for CRC. And then we also have Felisa Patino Longoria, and she is a recipient of the CSU Trustees Award for Outstanding Achievement. So as you can see, we have some phenomenal alumni that we love to brag about, of course. So a way that you can stay in touch with us is by going to our website. So you'll go to csub.edu/alumni. You'll go to the Update Your Information tab and enter your information and press Submit at the very bottom. So the reason why we like to have our alumni do this is just because it helps us stay connected to you. It helps us have any of your current up-to-date information, your current email or mailing address or anything like that. That way we can just send you information, send you our programs, send you our events, and so on. This is a program that I highly recommend. We just awarded some new scholarship recipients. If you didn't apply for it this past time, I highly recommend looking into it for your following year. This is given to CSUB alumni who are going into graduate programs. So definitely recommend applying for this scholarship opportunity. Something else we offer is our Runner Bridge platform, and that's runnerbridge.csub.edu. It's basically like a LinkedIn, but it's only for CSUB. And it's going to include students, alumni, faculty, and staff. We also facilitate our Runner Alumni Mentor Program through Runner Bridge. So if you're interested in this program, you'll have to make a Runner Bridge profile, and then from there, you'll apply to RAMP. So Runner Alumni Mentor Program, also known as RAMP, is a wonderful program. We pair students with alumni who have similar, so any students, like whatever your major is or field of interest, we try to pair you with an alumni mentor who's currently working in that industry or has plenty of experience working in that industry. And that way they can just help you with career advice, navigate through like the interview experience, help you with networking, help you make any career path decisions, and also help you brush up on your resume. And it's open to sophomores, juniors, seniors, and graduate students. Also, apologies for my voice because I feel like I sound really nasally and I'm recovering from being sick. So I'm very self-conscious about it right now. So excuse me if I sound nasally. Here's one of our fundraising events, Party in the Park. It's coming up in October. This is one of my favorite events that campus has, like, period. It's so much fun. We try to do a different theme every year. As you can see, last year we had kind of like a Western country theme. So you see some people with some cowboy hats here. This year we're doing an 80s neon nights theme. It's so much fun. There's beer, wine, food. Everybody likes food. And dancing. Usually there's always like live music that's being played or DJ, and it's just so much fun. There's a silent auction, and that's one of many events such as like Alumni Hall of Fame. These events help benefit our scholarship program and our Renner Alumni Mentor program. So Hall of Fame is another event that we have. And this is our event where we really get to recognize some of our outstanding alumni. So here's one of our outstanding alumni. Her name is Hajir Nuruddin. She is a veteran law enforcement executive with over 34 years of experience, and she's one of our most recent Alumni Hall of Fame awardees. Emily Duran was not this year, but the previous year. She is one of our Alumni Hall of Famers, and you may be familiar with her for those of you who are interested in working in healthcare. She is very big in the healthcare community here in Bakersfield, and she's got over 25 years of knowledge in healthcare and social support services. She's also one of our Runner Alumni Mentor Program mentors. Here's Blanca Cavasso. She's another awesome alum. She is a partner at the Leadership Associates and Professional and Coaching Administrators and at the primary education level. So she's great. She's big in the education community. And here's Matt Harris. He's an award-winning screenwriter and executive television producer. I believe he worked on MTV's Ridiculous. I don't know if anybody remembers that or watches MTV anymore, but so Matt's done quite a bit. He's had movies out, and he's also a mentor in a Runner Alumni Mentor Program. So it's really awesome that Matt, with his busy schedule, gets, he makes that time to participate in our program. So we're really grateful to have him. And of course, all of our other awesome mentors. That's about it. I'm going to go ahead and drop all my information in the chat. So you're welcome to reach out to me if you have more questions, especially if it's in regards to Runner Bridge or the Runner Alumni Mentor Program. Thank you so much. And again, congratulations on your graduate student journey. It's very exciting.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Athena. And I look forward to one of our new graduate students that are in this orientation being on one of your slides someday in the future. Highlighted as one of our alum. Next up, Chris Livingston from the library was unable to join us today. But again, as I said earlier, we are going to provide this presentation recording to all of you, as well as the PowerPoints. And Chris has provided a slide for all of you to access, and he said, please reach out to him with any questions. As I mentioned earlier, there's a new thing on our program, and I'll just call it thing because Ed's going to describe it all. But all of these events and workshops that we've been talking about throughout the orientation, now if you attend those, you actually get points. And in doing so, you can get some free swag. I'll leave it at that, and I will pass it to Ed and Martha. I believe he's going to navigate his own slides, so just give him access.
Hi, everybody. I'm just waiting for the button to pop up here that says to take it over. You can control Martha's screen now. All right. I'm looking and it's not doing anything. There we go. Okay, that's me. I've only got about 5 minutes here, so I'm going to cram about 4 hours worth of information into 5 minutes. I'm going to spend my first minute telling you a quick story. When I got out of high school, I went straight into Fresno State. I was really intimidated by being in college. I didn't want to participate in any clubs or any activities because I thought it was a distraction. And I ended up just not feeling connected to the university. I was there for 2.5 years. I couldn't even tell you what the name of the president of the university was. When I came back to CSUB in 2010 to complete my degree, first thing I did was join a club. Within a year, the president of the university knew what my name was. I cannot understate how valuable it is for you guys to get involved in a club. I know you got families, I know you got jobs, you've got this great program that's coming up that's going to take a lot of your time. You find a way to get a club in there because the visibility, the networking, the experience are super valuable. There's not anything else like it. So please take advantage of that if you can. All right, getting into the program here. This is a program we have called Runner Involve. It's the software that the clubs use to manage their systems, but it's also got a student engagement platform built into it. You can get here by going to csub.edu/runnerinvolve. If you see the circles at the top or in the left-hand side, that's your profile. If you click your profile, it'll take you to a profile page. I will talk more about that here in a moment. And if you would like to get a hold of me, my email is right above that circle right there, eweb2@csub.edu. Okay, this is where you find the student organizations on campus. Some of the departments have organizations in here as well. You can search by categories, you can search by some other things, but when you click those, then you'll get information about each of the organizations. Events, you'll see at the top the events tab. If you click that, you'll see whatever the upcoming events are for about the next 30 days or so. You can change the dates and it'll tell you what additional events are coming and then, up in the near future. But see the second circle, it says earn. If you click that, it will open up a thing for service hours. If you're looking for some service hours opportunities, either campus service, community service, philanthropic opportunities, click that and everything that is tagged with service hours will pop up. For points, that's the cool program we've got coming up. Just about anything that you go to at CSUB, if you are checked in at those events, you will earn 5 runner points. Some events will have more. Some events, if there's a lot of opportunities, will have 1 or 2 points per opportunity. But you'll be able to collect these runner points and then come into the student union and redeem them for runner swag. So we're still building the swag up and we're still putting events in the system where we're attaching the points, but you'll be able to go in and search for those points and look for events that are going to give you those. The next opportunity is called experiences. We've created 12 experience types, and that's what you see here. And these work like achievements in video games. So each of them are activated by doing different things. And you collect these, and this is really more for bragging rights, and it does have some silly stuff, so it's not all serious. For the example, this one's Ravenous Roadrunner. You earn that experience by going to 5 events that are tagged free food. So that may seem kind of frivolous, but if you're in between classes around lunchtime, you can search for that and find events on campus where they're giving food away. Skills works a lot like experiences, except they're not any of the silly part. It's all serious. We've taken 100 skills that employers look for in college graduates. We've divided those into 18 competencies, and each of the skills has 3 levels. So as you go to different events, you'll get the beginner level of these different skills. And then if you're interested in progressing in those skills, then you do more complicated things and more things that involve your commitment to those. So there's organizational excellence, leadership development. There's things like safety and risk and marketing and fiscal responsibility and all kinds of things. So all of these programs are up right now. You can go to the csub.edu/runnerinvolve and check them out. The skills have a long way to go before they're completely populated, but you'll start seeing some things here in the next month or so as events keep getting added to our system. So I'm going to wrap it up right there because I know we're already at time, but my name is Ed Webb. I work in the student union right across from Panda Express. If you've got any club questions, come talk to me and I'll be happy to help you.
Awesome. Thanks, Ed. And yes, such a wonderful program. As many of you know, as I shared earlier, part of our mission here in graduate studies is fostering a graduate culture on our campus. And a lot of that starts with these events where we bring graduate students together and aspiring graduate students. So, at our grad social, we have undergraduates who aspire to go to grad school who are there and like to mingle with our current graduate students and ask questions. We are officially 1 minute over. I want to congratulate each and every one of you for reaching this milestone in your educational journey, whether you're in a post-baccalaureate, graduate, or doctoral program here at CSUB. I also want to thank you again for choosing us. As I said earlier, you could have went to numerous different universities and different programs, and you chose us, and we're happy you're here. With that said, that concludes our new graduate student orientation. Please reach out with any questions or concerns, and please be sure to complete that survey link that I placed in the chat. Good luck this fall, and go Runners.